Today I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough of the OnTarget application. We will start with showing you the mobile app, and then I'll move to the desktop so that you can see both of those navigations. The data is exactly the same, but most folks find that the mobile app is more convenient when providing services out in the community if you need to clock in and out for EVV purposes, gather the member signature, or perhaps even complete and sign your documentation. So first things first, I'm going to share my screen from my mobile device. And you can download the OnTarget app wherever you typically get your applications for your mobile device. So for me with an iPhone, it's the App Store. The name of the official app is OnTarget by Abound Health. So this is the icon you'll be looking for when you download the application. Once you download and open OnTarget, you'll be presented with this login screen. Every individual has their own unique username and password. You'll notice there is a forgot password link down at the bottom. So if you do have an issue and you need to reset your password, you can do that. Also, you can check the box to remember your username so that that detail in the first field will persist. When I click login, you'll notice here across the bottom navigation, we have the Action Center, Schedules, Notes, Timesheets, and Profile here across the blue. We default to the schedule, and this is showing me as this example caregiver where I am scheduled to work and with whom. So today is Thursday, January 22nd, and you can see I'm scheduled to provide 30 minutes of PCS to this test client. Because this service requires EVV, you will see the clock in button is enabled. And as soon as you push that button, it will give you confirmation that you've clocked in successfully, and it will give you the details since you've been clocked in. So it'll let you know when you hit that clock in button. Okay. Now from here, I could go to the home button and log out, put my phone down and go about my business. Or I can click the Start Note button. So from here, you'll see the list of tasks or assignments that you would be responsible for in providing this service with this particular individual. And you'll just click each one of these and address either yes or NA if you did run this task, for example. So if yes, we did meal prep and feeding, click complete, and then move right on down the list. You do have a comment box if for some reason you want to add a comment. You can click NA if that didn't happen. And so, yes, I could say folded extra linens and complete. Oh, see, it will make me select something. Okay, and then it takes me back to that task list again. So you can see all of these are now checked. That lets me know that I've addressed all those specific items, and it will move me next to the additional fields. These are typically on the paper document would be at the header of your note. And so I'll go back so you can see that. Was the employer hospitalized during this pay period? No. Has their health changed? I'm going to click same. And then this is where you can have the member add their signature. So this defaults to the draw signature, and it is just, use your finger on this touchpad. Okay. From here, I can save this detail. And if I hit confirm time, it's going to take me to the last phase of this note. And so you'll see that this clock in time was at 2:48. That is the start time on this note. That's the clock in time that will be sent for EVV purposes. And that'll be the time that we populate onto your timesheet. So if I try to sign this note right now, it's not going to let me because the end time is still empty. I need to clock out before I can sign this note. So you could go back to the schedule button, and here's that clock out. Now, I don't want to do that because I've only been at work for 3 minutes. And if I clock out now, it would result in an invalid note. So give us just a minute and we'll come back to that. Okay, I'm gonna hop back in. It is 3:01, and if you remember, I clocked in at 2:48, so just covering a little bit more ground here in the mobile app, and then I'll clock out in just a second. So the Action Center is quickly where you can see things that need your attention, notes that haven't been signed, a timesheet that's pending, trainings or certifications that are coming due. Again, back to the schedule so you can see future dates of service and who you're working with. Here's the notes search. And so you can see notes you haven't started, notes that are unsigned, and notes that are signed. And here's the timesheet menu, so you can see in a bigger picture ones that are pending and what's been signed. And then here on the profile, you can see your own employee or user information. So the demographics, the paychecks, the taxes, etc. All of this would be specific to me as a caregiver or DSP. The Assign Clients button, however, is going to show you some client information. So the individuals or members you work with, you'd be able to see some specific ID information and that you are assigned to that individual. All right, we go back to the schedule. I'm going to clock out. My clock out has been successfully recorded. And then here we are. So back to the note. This is what we just said. Go through the additional fields. Done. Confirm time. And now you'll see the start and the end time here. The clock in and clock out time. Now both of those are populated and I can sign this note. To sign the note, you put in the same password you used to log in. And hopefully you remember it. Confirm. And now we can see that that note has been signed. So if I go to the notes menu, now under this signed listing, I've got this note, this 2:45 to 3 o'clock. That's the note I just completed. Once those notes get approved, you would then see all of that respective time on your existing timesheet. We're going to log back into the desktop, but that should help at least give you a view of how to navigate in the mobile app.